And we are back. Welcome back to the Nations League prediction series once again. This video is going to be covering all of Friday's matches in the Nations League. And a massive thank you to the few thousand of you that have already watched and commented on the predictions for Thursday's Nations League matches. Another incredible week already so far on the channel, and we're going to have one more video for you tomorrow morning ahead of Thursday's matches, so you will have all of my predictions for Thursday, Friday and Saturday. All of Matchday 5 will be covered before a ball is kicked. So if you haven't done so already, please do consider dropping a like on this video if you do enjoy all of my prediction series, and subscribe with notifications turned on so you don't miss out on the final round of Matchday 5 predictions before we then start looking ahead to the final group deciders on Matchday 6. And without any further ado, let's jump straight to the prediction screen, where we don't really need to talk about the results so far because they are no different from yesterday, because we've still not had any matches played. And we have got 9 matches for you on Friday. We have got 1 match from League D, and then we have got 2 matches, or sorry, I say 2 groups taking part in League C and League A, with no League B representation for Friday's matches. But let's get things started in everyone's favourite league. It is League D, and it is Group 1 that we're going to be talking about today. And it is a match between San Marino and Gibraltar. Now, Gibraltar sit top of this group on 5 points. San Marino are second on 3, with Liechtenstein on 2. However, this is Gibraltar's final game of the group, and San Marino, even after this game, will still have a game in hand because they play Liechtenstein on match day 6. So what that means that is, if Gibraltar can avoid defeat here, they are all but guaranteed to win the group. However, San Marino get the victory here, and they are group winners, and they are promoted. Now, the reverse fixture was a 1-0 victory for Gibraltar. However, both their matches against Liechtenstein were draws, and San Marino's only match against Liechtenstein so far in this tournament was a 1-0 victory. That means that both matches involving San Marino so far have been 1-0 victories to the home side. And as I've already said, if San Marino repeat that trick here, they are going to get promoted. And to be fair, for Gibraltar, they've not exactly been that good. They haven't scored away from home in any of their last 8 matches, even with Manchester United starlet James Scanlon playing up front for them. No goals in their last 8 away matches. And if San Marino can keep doing what they've been doing over the last few games in this tournament, I honestly think they can get back-to-back competitive home wins on Friday night. So I am going for a 1-0 victory to San Marino once again. It's basically a group decider, this. Whichever side wins will get promoted. And I'm going for San Marino, unbelievably, to get promoted to League C. Speaking of League C, we now move on to there, where we find ourselves starting off with Group 2. And we have Cyprus and Lithuania in what is basically a battle to see which side finishes last in this group. Both sides have lost all of their last 3 matches since they met on match day 1. Cyprus losing all 3 without scoring. Lithuania losing all 3 but scoring all 3, which makes it even more bizarre that when these two sides met on match day 1, it was Cyprus that won 1-0. So the only game where Cyprus have scored is the only game where Lithuania haven't scored. But obviously that game was played in Lithuania, and now this game is back in Cyprus. These two sides also met in Cyprus, this time last year, this time in a friendly, and that was also a 1-0 win to Cyprus. However, looking at how the game went last month, with Lithuania having double the possession and double the XG over Cyprus, and given the fact that Lithuania have performed better against Romania and Kosovo than Cyprus have, and given the fact that Lithuania do actually need to get a result in this game to avoid full relegation to League D. Because remember how it works with the whole thing. We spoke about it yesterday. Go and watch yesterday's video to get a full understanding of how the relegation works from League C. But basically, because Lithuania have 0 points, if they lose this game, they're basically relegated to League D straight away. So they've got to go for it. And given the fact that they've been scoring goals in the other matches, I think they are going to score in this. It's really going to be a case of which side scores first. I think if Lithuania can score first, they'll get the win. But I think with the amount of attacking Lithuania are going to try and do, they're going to leave themselves vulnerable to counter-attacks as well. So with all of that said, I am going for a 1-1 draw for Cyprus and Lithuania. It's going to be a tough one. I think a lot of the games today are tough ones to call. This is certainly one of them. I'm going for a 1-1 draw. The other game in this group is the complete flip reverse. We have Romania, who have won all 4 of their matches so far, taking on Kosovo, who have won 3 of their 4 matches so far. The only defeat coming to Romania on match day 1. However, that was a 3-0 victory to Romania away in Kosovo. So a lot of momentum, a lot of things going in favour of Romania going into this one. However, given the state of play, Romania know that all they have to do in this game is avoid defeat and they're guaranteed automatic promotion. Equally, a draw for Kosovo guarantees them that automatic playoff spot, whereas a victory for Kosovo would have to require them to win by a bigger margin than what Romania pulled off last time around. So they're going to need to win by 3 or more to overhaul Romania into first place. Even a 2-0 defeat for Romania will see them end the group as group winners, provided they both win on the final match days against Cyprus and Lithuania respectively. Ultimately, this is still Romania's game to lose, even with Kosovo needing it more and Romania knowing they can sit back a bit more. The good news for Kosovo is Rashica is back and available for them. We spoke about him a couple of times over the last few weeks in regards to Besiktas in my Europa League videos. He is now back and available for Kosovo as things stand. I mean, we spoke about Ødegaard yesterday and he's now pulled out for Norway. So I'll say Rashica's available. He might not be come Friday morning. But ultimately, I'm still going to go for Romania here. I'm backing them to go 5 out of 5. I'm going for a cautious 2-1, given that Kosovo could produce something. But I just simply can't overlook the fact that Romania won 3-0 in the reverse fixture. The other group in League C kicks off with Luxembourg taking on Bulgaria. This time it is the bottom 2 once again. We have a side in Luxembourg sitting on 2 points, taking on a Bulgaria side on 5 points. This was a 0-0 draw when these two sides met last month. In fact, I don't know how you guys remember, but this was the group where after match day 3, there had only been 4 goals from the first 6 matches in this group. And then on match day 4, Northern Ireland win 5-0 and the other game is 1-1. So there's actually 7 goals in 2 games after there only being 4 goals in the first 6. But we find ourselves in this position where basically Bulgaria, off the back of the 5-0 defeat, know that all they have to do here is avoid defeat to Luxembourg and they are safe and Luxembourg are relegated. And Luxembourg are so poor in front of goal and Bulgaria were on a 9-game unbeaten run going into that game with Northern Ireland. They know how to be defensively solid. Luxembourg are very poor at attacking. So I just think with that said, the best, most likely result here is another 0-0 draw where Bulgaria just say, we'll take the 0-0, we'll secure our spot in League C going forward, and Luxembourg, enjoy your time in League D. The other game in the group sees Northern Ireland taking on Belarus. Northern Ireland, of course, are going to be full of confidence in this one off the back of that 5-0 victory and Isaac Price's hat-trick over over Bulgaria on match day 4. Belarus, on the other hand, they're in a relatively good position, and I think they are, in fact, the only unbeaten side in this group so far. So they're going to back themselves to get a result here, but I think even with Paddy McNair being unavailable and Owen Toll being suspended for Northern Ireland, I think the momentum that they built up in that victory last time out is going to be enough for them to see off Belarus here. I'm going to go for a 2-0 win for Northern Ireland, which will basically all but guarantee them promotion up to League B. But anything could still happen on match day 6. I think this is Northern Ireland's group to throw away now, and I'm backing them to get the job done here. From League C, then, we jump all the way past League B and straight to League A. And we're starting off with Group 1, and we're starting off with Portugal taking on Poland. Portugal, top of the table. Poland currently sitting in 3rd. Portugal are on 10. Poland are on 4. And there really is still plenty to play for in this group. I think whatever happens in these 2 matches, I think this group will go all the way to match day 6 with deciding all of the real key positions going into it. For Poland, it really is the news that Robert Lewandowski is unavailable that is going to dominate the headlines here. He's one of many players that have picked up suspicious 10-day to 2-week injuries going into this international break. Among those, Also the likes of Ruben Diaz and Pedro Goncalves for Portugal, which has prompted Cristiano Ronaldo to come out this week and really have a go at players not willing to play for their countries in this tournament. Again, just proving how much of a winner he is, how desperate he is to perform in whatever competition he is in. And I stand by what he's saying. The amount of disrespect that's been shown to this competition, especially given the fact that these two matches are the deciding matches in the group, I think is appalling. And we're going to have more players that have pulled out of this competition for this week in some of the matches we've got coming up in the rest of this video. But like I say, with Lewandowski unavailable for Poland, with Portugal winning 3-1 in the reverse fixture, I just don't really see Poland really causing Portugal any realistic problems here. As I just said, it was 3-1 to Portugal in Warsaw, so I'm going for 3-0 to Portugal now back at home. And I think of all the matches, this is the only one I'm sort of like, I am dead certain Portugal will win this match. Genuinely, the other 8, I'm not 100% certain on at all. And speaking of not being 100% certain, we then move on to Scotland taking on Croatia, where Scotland themselves were finally rewarded for what has been a performance-based, really good tournament for them so far, but results-based has been an absolute disaster. Their draw with Portugal in Matchday 4 is the only point they've picked up so far in this tournament. They now go into this game against Croatia basically having to win. Otherwise, they are near enough guaranteed to get relegated. So, big pressure on Scotland. They're going to be without Che Adams. He's another one that has pulled out with a suspicious 2-week injury going into these matches. For Croatia, they are going to be missing their goalkeeper. Now, that is a massive, massive loss for them. Livakovic, who was a real star for them at the Euros last summer, with the penalty shootouts and big saves for him over the last few years, he is going to be missing because he got sent off in Croatia's game against Poland last time out. So it's a real opportunity for Scotland to capitalise. They have to win. And I'm going to back them to do it. I'm going for a 2-1 home win to Scotland, which will set up a real mouth-watering game between Scotland and Poland in the final group game, with potentially promotion playoffs, relegation playoffs, and automatic relegation all on the line going into Matchday 6 if those two results go as I have predicted. And then the final group is League A Group 4. The first of those matches is between the top 2 in Denmark and Spain. Spain sit first and Denmark sit second, with Spain winning the reverse fixture only 1-0 last month. So Denmark are going to be pretty quietly confident going into this. For Spain, they're going to be missing Lamine Yamal, who is another player who has picked up a suspicious 2-week injury going into this international break. But that just puts even more favour in terms of Denmark. Now, I know a lot of the bookmakers are going to consider Spain to be the absolute odds-on favourites for this match, because, you know, they're the European champions, they're the defending Nations League champions, and they're unbeaten in their last 14 matches. However, Denmark are on a very good run of form at the moment, and they're unbeaten in their last 16 at home. So they are definitely going to be up for this. With Spain missing a few key players, it's a real opportunity for Denmark to get a result. I'm not going to go all out and give Denmark the win, but I am going to give them a draw. And I'm going to go for 1-1 between Denmark and Spain. To be honest, I actually think a Spain win, in my head, is the least likely of the 3 results, even though most people will say it's the most likely. And then finally, it is Switzerland taking on Serbia, and it is an absolute must-win game for Switzerland. A draw or a defeat in this match will see Switzerland relegated straight away to League B. For Serbia, it is kind of a must-win as well, because they can't assume that Spain are going to beat Denmark. So they're going to need to produce a win here themselves to keep themselves in that fight for the qualification for the knockout stages of the League A teams. If you didn't know, the top 2 from each of the League A teams go into quarterfinals, then semi-finals, and a final to determine the next Nations League winner. So Serbia will want to be in that top 2, and they're going to need to beat Switzerland to get themselves into that top 2. In terms of injuries and suspensions for Switzerland, they're missing a few key players. Akanji, another player out for 2 weeks. Zakaria, another player out for 2 weeks. And Ndoye, another player out for 2 weeks. All would be regular starters for Switzerland. All have pulled out. Whereas Serbia not only have no injury concerns going into this, but have also added their star striker Dusan Vlahovic back into their ranks for this match. And I just think with all that combined, with Switzerland in real disarray so far in this competition, I'm actually going to go for a Serbian win. And I'm going to go for a 2-1 victory to them away to Switzerland to round off today's predictions. But that's what I think. As I've already said, there are 9 matches taking place on Friday. And other than Portugal and Poland, I am really uncertain on all of them. But hopefully, I've given you enough information for you to make your own decisions. That's the purpose of this series. The predictions are for fun. But for you guys, it is about providing you with all the information you need to make your own predictions. But that's what I think. Let me know all your thoughts down in the comment section below. Thank you very much for watching and listening as always. I'll be back tomorrow morning where we'll do this all over again for the final matches on Matchday 5 taking place on Saturday. I'll see you there.